Hey Soul Family, welcome to Soulspire. I'm so glad that you are here with me today, and I hope that you are feeling blessed and encouraged and just having the strength to continue within your journey and along your path. So, if you were guided here, there are definitely some messages here for you. So, let's see what Spirit has to say. So, I think you're in a place where you're loving yourself more and embracing who you are. Maybe there's some things about you that you've suppressed and not wanted to, share with the world, but you're embracing more of who you are and what truly, does it for you? What gets you going? What brings you happiness or fills your heart? You're loving yourself and you're loving others as a result. When you have much more love for yourself and embracing yourself, other people benefit from that. So there's just a lot of love illuminating from you. I think you've come from some difficult times and situations, and you're just entering a higher timeline of more self-love and just love within your life. Not only just self-love, this is going to allow externally love to come towards you also, because you are loving yourself. I think maybe in the past you've wanted other people to love you, and you see now that it all begins with you. It all starts within you, and you're loving yourself more and embracing who you are. And maybe you're loving, other people, or noticing other people, or being called towards a different kind of love that maybe society would look down upon, or that has been stigmatized. So maybe you're just opening up your eyes and heart to different situations that previously you wouldn't be receptive to. So I think you're just opening up your heart more and having more love within your life, and just embracing who you really are and what you want and what you desire. And I think it's been rough for you because you haven't always put yourself first, and it's caused you to be not in the best of energy. But the tables are definitely turning for you because you're loving yourself more and embracing who you are. You're able to have more joy in your heart, and you have more things to be grateful for and more things to be appreciative about, and you're truly just feeling more encouraged and blessed in this moment, and it's allowing more things to come your way. So you're no longer in the darker timeline of your life where things were kind of more gloomy. You're now putting yourself in the center of your world, which is creating more balance for you, more peace and more happiness. And you're seeing things from a higher perspective. Your soul is leading you and guiding you, and you're making better choices. But this has been, a rough path and a rough time getting here, but you're continuing to do the inner work, which is leading you to a new chapter, that's gonna wash away. It almost might seem like your old life, wasn't even your life, because it's gonna wipe away all the remnants of your past, and you're going towards just newer things that you haven't even seen before within your life. There's so much growing and coming from your situations that you might not even realize at this current moment. So you definitely have a better timeline ahead with more luck and more abundance and more happiness. What you're needing to focus on is what does and doesn't work for you within your life, and making the changes to move forward to get to where you're trying to go towards, where your soul is leading you, where God is pushing you to. And that's going to be some tough decisions that you're going to have to make in regards to this. You're going to have to figure out what's worth keeping and what's not. You don't want to be weighed down by old baggage, that's going to keep you from getting to the destination that you're trying to go towards. So you're going to have to make some decisions, and don't take what no longer serves you. And I think that's mentally, spiritually, emotionally, so in all aspects of your life, because you're going towards a higher timeline. Better days are ahead for you, and maybe there's some people that don't deserve to come along with you. So maybe you'll have to make some decisions in regards to that. Maybe there are some tendencies that you have that you maybe in regards to your thinking or emotions that you need to release and let go. Some things from your past, and it's gonna assist you in moving forward by you releasing these things, because again, they no longer serve you. So it's time to let it go. And I think maybe in your past you've been really, broken in regards to your heart, and you give your all, and it's because you truly, love from within your soul. And there's been some people that have misused that, and that have been dark, that you've came into contact with, that have, hurt you because of that. But you will stand more in your worth, in your future, and where you are now. You know that you are a beautiful person inside and out. Your soul is just so bright, and you've come into contact with these negative people and entities because it's like a moth to a flame. They're attracted to this energy. But now, you're making better choices, and this is a part of your past. I think if you are to be in a relationship, because you love yourself so much, you won't allow some of the things that you've allowed to come along your way. You're no longer wanting to be loved. You're loving yourself, so you're not accepting, the BS anymore, and you know your worth. You know the beauty that you have within, and you're being more choosy and using discernment, and not allowing those kind of individuals to come along and be in your energy and to siphon your beautiful energy, because they're only, energy vampires or narcissist type of people that, want to use you as a source of supply. And you just need to know that you are so strong, and you are protected. And with you creating more balance within your life, you're able to stand in your strength, and you're able to make better choices with clarity And with your, third eye versus just what you see from a person, within the physical, you're able to see through to their soul now. And previously, you couldn't. You made a lot of bad choices, but you've made a choice to love yourself and to be more balanced and to have more discernment, to allow your soul within to guide you. And you're knowing your worth. You feel more powerful and you feel protected, and you are. And you will make the decisions that are right for you. And the people that have wronged you, they will pay. They will get their karma. They will have repercussions for the things that they done. And it might not be, immediately. It might take a while, but don't worry, it will come for them. And your karma will also come for you. And it's simply what you put out in the world comes back to you. And you know that. These people, I don't know if they realize or know that. I think maybe they feel they can, deceive. But of course you can't deceive the universe. You can't hide from God. And you can't hide from your soul either. Your soul definitely knows the way forward. So, in the future, I think you're going to be working more with people. And you're going to be creating some things. So, you will have some friendships coming in, some relationships coming in that are going to be more balanced and working, for the greater good of whatever it is that you're working towards. So you're going to be a part of, I see better relationships that are more balanced for you and not taking from you. Relationships that are more reciprocal, that have give and take, and I think in the past it's been more take. So you're going towards being around people who care about you and are more grounded and more like yourself. And again, I think that's because you're loving yourself and using more discernment in regards to who you even allow to enter, your circle or even your proximity. You don't even allow people to, get that deep within who you really are. You have interactions and things, but they're kind of surface level. But I think some more real relationships are coming in for you that will be also grounded and more balanced like you and supportive of you and able to lift you up. Not just you pouring into them and giving them your all. They're going to be also, again, reciprocating that same kind of love that you have. So you're using your discernment, and it's going to bring better people in your life for you. And you just need to know that the situations that you've been through in the past, the hurt and the pain, are your past. And our past can be an indication of our future, but in this situation, you have healed from these things and you were able to break free from your past circumstances. Again, you're using more discernment. You're not bound by these situations and people that you've used to be in contact with, or that have hurt you in the past. And you've healed yourself. You've did the work. You've went within and worked internally on yourself, and it's allowing you to be more rooted in who you are, to love yourself more, to be more grounded, to be okay with being in a standstill, within your life. Maybe you don't have the relationships, maybe you've taken some time out to work on yourself, which is what you should do. A lot of people jump in and out of relationships, but you've allowed yourself to love yourself more and take some time out and see about you for once, versus working on a relationship. So this is igniting your fuel within, pushing you forward, because you've been through the hurt, you've been through the pain, and this is now your power, that you were able to pull yourself out of this dark place and, to come so close to, I want to say, fire. So just, you've had some heated situations and circumstances, that have really brought you down, that could have truly burnt you or hurt you, and just a lot of negativity. You're moving away from that within your life, and you're allowing this to now be your power and to propel you forward. And things are going to change for you rapidly. Things are changing for you because you are seeing things from a higher perspective, and it's pushing you in towards a higher timeline, a higher existence. And again, there's so much growth on your behalf, and it's pushing you to a new direction, a new way of living, a new existence, a new sense of clarity, a new way of creating, a new love, for however that resonates within your life. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen quickly, these changes. So be ready, because you have some greatness coming ahead that's going to fill your heart and fill your spirit emotionally. You're going to be very happy. And I think that you are maybe a little worried that your past will come up to bite you again, that your same circumstances, but I really feel like you've learned the lessons and you're loving yourself more, and you don't have to worry, because you're not going to let this kind of energy back into your life. You've moved on from the things that used to, do it for you. The addictions and, maybe people that you shouldn't have had around you. You are making better choices because you're loving yourself more, and you're not caught up in to the negativity that you once thought you had to be. Maybe society, maybe your family, maybe your mindset. You thought that you had to have and accept those things, but you see your worth now, and you know that you don't have to accept that. So the things that used to hold you down are no longer holding you down. So you don't have to fear or worry that life ahead is going to be a continuation, because it's not. Because you're using your inner knowledge and you're letting your soul guide you. You're so much more rooted than you once were within who you really are. So this devil energy doesn't have the hold that it used to. I think with you it's going to be the same. New levels, new devils. It's going to be different circumstances that are going to have to come along your way to, hold you down or hold you back, because you're able to recognize the stuff, the BS that you've seen before. They can't trick you with the same, situations or people, or, low vibrational relationships, of wanting just to be loved. You're no longer there, so you're going to have to they're going to have to rather, bring up their game rather, because it's going to take more, to get you, if that's what someone's trying to do, in a negative way. They're going to have to really be smart or outsmart you, because you've seen so much, and you're loving yourself and using your discernment. And this is all leading you to a place of more balance and more prosperity and more abundance within your life and happiness. And you're seeing, ahead, and how much bigger life can be, and how much more love you can have in your life, and things are blossoming, and just more abundance for you. And you will have someone that you have a cup to share with, but you're waiting, and you're allowing the time that it takes for this person to come in within your life. You're no longer wanting anyone to kind of fit the bill type energy. You want real love at this time. And it all started with, loving yourself. So you're okay with waiting. You're okay with tending to yourself and looking out for yourself and working on yourself and growing and ascending and, transmuting the pain that you've been through. So you're doing a lot of healing and loving yourself more, and looking ahead towards a brighter future. And as you should, because you're deserving of so much more than you've had in the past. And I hate that you felt that you had to accept, those things, but we live and we learn, and you've definitely learned. You've learned the lessons. So let's see what else we got. Truth. So I think you're standing in your truth more. You're honoring yourself and valuing yourself, and you're feeling more abundant and more beautiful and more grounded in who you are. You know that you have to live within your truth. Maybe this has something even to do about your sexuality and being more open to loving anyone, or, you're just releasing a lot of things that society, family members, and other people have pushed on you, and you're standing more in your truth. And whatever you do is going to be for you. And you're contemplating, you're figuring out what moves you need to make, what steps do you need to take. And this may take some time. Again, like I said, there's no rush, but ultimately you're wanting to live a life that feels more fulfilled and more happiness for you. And you're gonna have to make some changes. And it all starts, with loving yourself. So contemplating is never a bad thing, but don't stay in that place too long, Don't get stressed out about your direction or what lies ahead, because you have so much more positivity coming within your life. As I stated, I think your past has been rough, but these have all been lessons, and a lot of happiness is coming towards you and within your life. And just remain positive. Know that there's so much more coming for you. A higher timeline awaits, but you gotta be more positive, and you have to have gratitude for your life already as you know it, to embrace more, Let's see what else. You need to have hope. think you've been through a lot of things, that have brought you down, but continue to have hope that things can get better, because Spirit is saying, a higher timeline awaits for you. Continue to love yourself and work on yourself. Justice will prevail in your case. Your good karma is going to come back, as well as, the karma for others that is not so great. The world is always spinning and turning, and just know that your past is exactly that. It's your past, and you have a brighter future ahead. And the sun is going to be coming out to shine upon you, because your energy just attracts the sun, the light. That's who you are. So embrace more hope and be more optimistic, because you have a greater timeline ahead and you have more happiness ahead. I know things have been rough in the past, but release that. Release all that no longer serves you. So I feel called to stop. I wish you so much love and light, and take care.